Welcome to WebStylePress. In web design and in front-end development, typography plays a vital role. Clean and beautiful fonts will enhance readability experience, and your website users will stay longer at your website. Reading through your web page will be a pleasant experience for them. For a font to work in web page, it should be in your PC operating system. There are limited number of fonts in operating system. For Windows, if you go to control panel fonts, you will see the fonts, a lot of fonts, but still these are limited and designers have to use alternative fonts. So for a font to work in a web page, it should be in your operating system. There are limited number of fonts in operating system. In other case, it should be loaded with web page, only then it will work. I see many designers use fonts that you have to include in your website to make them work in web pages. Each time when a user will access your website, those fonts will have to be loaded in memory from your web server, which will slow down website load speed. I encourage web designers to use Google Fonts more often. Google Fonts are open source and free to use fonts that you do not need to place in your website to work. You just need to include font URL to make it work. Your website speed won't be affected, and there are many beautiful fonts available to use freely. So why not make use of these beautiful fonts? Here is how we can use these Google Fonts. Just search Google Fonts in Google and you will land at fonts.google.com, and there are many beautiful fonts available here, and these are open source and free to use. My opinion is to use only 2 font families or font types in your website, or max 3, but not more than 3. One font family for your website headings and second for overall text. We will select 2 fonts to use in our web page. I have the standard HTML page. I have linked Bootstrap for this web page, and I have linked a CSS file custom.css that is in my assets and styles folder, and I am using custom.scss file that will be converted into custom.css, and I have this heading and a paragraph in my web page. The output of that web page is here. Currently, a font from Bootstrap has been loaded in this web page. If you right click and click inspect, inspector will be opened, and you can see this is the heading, and let's see which font is loaded for this heading. And this is the font family, and in this font family there are many fonts. The font that will be available in your operating system will be loaded for this web page. So I want a custom font from Google Fonts, so we will come here and we will select fonts. I like Open Sans and I like Oswald, so let's apply Open Sans. I will use Open Sans for overall text in my web page and Oswald for heading. So let's apply Open Sans. Click at this plus button and you will see this pop up right here. Click this to maximize it, and here you see Open Sans selected, and then you have these options: embed or customize. And inside embed, you have 2 ways to embed it: by a standard way by linking style sheet, and inside the style sheet there is the URL and this Open Sans. And then there is import method that you can use inside your CSS file. We will look at standard method first, and you have also this font family that will be used in CSS. If you go to customize, you can choose font weights. I am selecting all the font weights that I need, and then if you will come to embed, you will see these font weights will be added here. So let's link the style sheet. This is the style sheet tag, and we will link it here. Let me save the document, and then we will come in our style sheet and we will apply this font at the body. We'll copy the font family from here and I will paste it here, save it, and now my page will look like this. And to make sure that it is loaded, we will see this here, this one, font family open sans. So this has been loaded. I want a different font for my heading, so let's get it, minimize it, and this time select Oswald, and now you see there are two fonts available here. I will again go to customize and I will select font weight variations for Oswald as well, then go back to embed, and now I will copy the updated style sheet link. It's a link tag, and I will update this link tag, and you see there is open sans now, and there is also Oswald now. And I will copy this font family Oswald sans serif from here, and I will apply it for my heading. I have this h2 tag, so let's apply it at h2. See, this is Oswald. Oswald has been loaded, and let's verify it. Yes, this one. All right. Now you can increase the font weight. Let's see, we have the link tag, and we have option available, variations available for font weight for open sans, 300, 400, 600. Let's apply 600. And see, this is font weight has been changed. See this one, you can even more, you can increase it, and this is the regular, this is the regular. So this way you can use the font weight. Now you see, you have used this link tag. Now you will have to include this link tag for every web page that you have in your website. We don't want that. There is another way. Remove this link tag and again come here, and instead of using standard method, use the import method. You can use this with style tag in your web page, or you can copy only import URL, this one, and you can use it in your CSS file at the top of document. I am using a CSS. Similarly, it will be used in CSS. Use this import URL and you will get the similar results. See, the fonts have been loaded. Now the fonts are being loaded by using import method via our CSS file. So you just have to include this import URL in your CSS, and your CSS is being applied in every web page of your website, so you don't need to include the link style sheet tag. So this is how you can use multiple fonts from Google Fonts by using import method and by using standard method, and you have got this font family below this, and you can even customize it and select multiple weights or even languages from here. And that's it. You can just close it here, and you are accessing it by URL, and these are called from Google servers, and your website won't slow down. This is a good way to use different fonts, and you have many options here. I encourage web designers and front-end developers to use this method, use Google Fonts more often. So I hope you liked this tutorial. Give this tutorial a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Take care.